to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucius, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
Oh, happy Athletics LLC. Still suffering from a little bit of NCAA hangover. So, hey, bear with us. It was all fun and games till we had to go home. So, welcome all. Another fun week of recap, a little bit of discussion, and then everything in between. So, as always, Sir Lucius, I mean, I think you might have the biggest of little hangovers in all of us, but how you doing, sir?
I am actually, I'm not quite rolling this evening, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
Rolling on fumes.
Yes, exactly.
I love it. Lamar Stranomus, how are you today, sir?
Oh, well, yeah. When we get to these picks, I'm a Fugazi pick Tyler. Oh my God.
Yeah, but go ahead and clip that one up, ladies and gents. Go ahead and repost that one.
Yeah.
Clyde, how are you, sir?
Of everyone on this panel, I think I'm doing the best, not because of picks or anything. I didn't have any travel, and I just want the audience to understand. You're watching this, it's Friday. We're shooting this on Monday post the NCs.
Post NCs, post New Balance,
Monday
post
night for real, and that's why they look like that.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. I appreciate you all.
Yeah, Governor, you had the right idea to put the shades on, because I'm looking at my eyes right now like, wow, whoops, sorry y'all, my bad.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm definitely suffering for some major jet lag, and then you add spring forward to it. Yeah, not a good combination, not at all.
No.
So
I mean, like I said, it was all fun and games until we had to come home.
Absolutely, and no, but fun weekend though. I will say that fun weekend.
It was. At a certain point, it was just a day that ended in Y, because I wasn't sure which one it was. I wasn't quite sure where we were in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You just kept showing up.
Well,
So
let's get into it.
So with that
I got all
said,
the energy tonight. Let's go.
I know. Well, kick us off then. Just wherever you want to start, about the recap, about the holy.
Okay. I'm gonna lob up this softball since y'all were in the building. We're gonna just do the review, just not the points, not our picks. We'll get to that in a minute. Choose still got some T's to cross in there.
Yes.
On straight review, can I lob this softball up? Division I NCAA Indoor Championships, Birmingham. Yay or never again?
Never again. Never, ever again. First of all, I'm going to liken this to the nonsense that was with the men's tournament versus the women's tournament last year, right? At some point in time, we have to have the respect for the athletes and the coaches and the hard work we put into getting to these championships. When we are placed in a building where the temperature in the building is solely controlled by what's going on outside. So when it's blazing hot outside, it's blazing hot in the building. When it's cold outside, it's freezing cold in the building. And they have no control over it, okay? I spent 13 and a half hours in that building on Friday, right? So because they have some kind of vendor things, they won't let you bring food into the building that you order. So then we have to have our kids either buy their concession food or wait till we get back to the hotel. There's just nothing good about this situation. The warm-up area, still, it's trash. It's a joke, right? It's an absolute joke. So at some point in time, we as coaches have to stand up and go, enough's enough. We don't need to do this anymore. So I am sorry. Yes, this is exactly how I feel. My tiredness has nothing to do with this. Right? I'm just telling you, it's not the right place. And while we're talking about this, let's also talk about the fact that split gender indoor meet has to stop. It has to stop. There's not enough rest. Okay, it's just not. Like, you just can't do that to the athletes. You look at the number of athletes that were struggling in the 4x4, right? Look at them. You know, and there's this big talk about how Dwayne Ross made a mistake. He should have had his 20.4 200-meter guy on his 4x4. First of all, to everybody that said that, shut your mouth. You have no idea what those guys' capabilities are, right? There's a lot of 20.4 guys who will not run the 4x4. Hell, I got a 19.9 guy that won't run. Yeah. Okay? So put him out there and watch the dude split 50 points. Right. So all you armchair coaches out there, shut your mouths because you don't know what you talk about. Right. So the damn race is 30 minutes after the 200. Right. 30 minutes. So yes, I mean, like, the whole thing is a joke. It needs to stop.
So you threw out two points there, and I'd like to respond to both of them because the Birmingham Crossplex has a very sentimental place in my heart, because that's where I won my initial national championship when I was at RU.
Y'all won.
No. Listen, you are absolutely right.
There you go.
The meet, having the Division I championships there is unbecoming of what the championship is meant to be.
Yep.
It should be at a place much like the arguments that I always make for keep outdoors at the cathedral. Indoors, there are about 4 or 5 places right now that are elite to host a meet like this. And we should keep those in the rotation until somebody builds something that's just better than everything else. Because the meet was at Birmingham, the coaches, I'm gonna get to the split gender thing. I'm just talking about the venue. The warm-up situation is borderline dangerous. The oval itself is unbecoming of the talent. We lost a world record in the men's 400, a new American record in the women's 200, and in my personal opinion, we lost a 49-point race, potentially an NCAA record in the women's 400, all because of where the meet was being run. Still fantastic performances. Those are fantastic kids with great coaches, and they're super talented. The runways in Birmingham for the horizontal jumps are dead. Okay. Jasmine Moore is still Jasmine Moore, but put her on an elevated runway somewhere, and what's that record? Okay. So it's just unbecoming of the talent and what it's supposed to be. The split gender thing, it works outdoors, and that's everybody's argument for it. But yeah, outdoors, there's a day of rest in between for everybody, and it's a totally different schedule. Indoor, I understood why they did it for COVID reasons last year. And on TV, it might even make sense, but it's horrible for the kids, and it's worse for the coaches. There was nothing wrong with it being together. Either you have to go back to it being together, or you have to add another day or two.
Yeah.
There's no other way. And I'm out.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, please go. I'm just smiling because so far we are almost at some sort of like tilt the earth off its axis. Those two just agreed completely. So I'm waiting to hear what the two of us have to say. I already know what I'm gonna say. So this is actually really on you, Governor.
Well, I mean, having been there for those 2 days, I mean, I was tired. I had 2 athletes at the meet, and I was exhausted, you know, and not only that, they competed on separate days, but I had to think long and hard about sticking around. Now think about that, right? Like they're texting me, you know, my long jumper jumps on the first day, and you know, I'm starting to look at the schedule, and she's saying, "Hey, we got to go. I'm done. And I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. You know, second day we roll around, you know, my triple jumper goes, and same thing. You know, it was like, this is a marathon. And we shouldn't feel that way. Wasn't the whole idea that we would get away from these marathon sessions, right? Not only that, I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen the telecast of the meet, you know, but essentially they basically bunched everything into one, one telecast, right? So you had the men's championship, right? Screen goes dark, dun 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 dun, music starts again, and here's the women's championship, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I get where they were going, but execution, man, it was painful. It was painful to be there. And I think there's still some fixing to do when it comes to that, to the schedule. Now, as far as the venue, why are we talking about a cathedral on the outdoor and we're not talking about a cathedral on the indoor? Why is it just about the highest bidder? Oh, here's a facility that does indoor meets, for people, to feed people, right? They're running meets from December 2-3 times a week, right? They're putting bids just like everybody else. But that doesn't mean that a facility that can't fit, I mean, how many people fit into that building? I mean, this is
It looked like
NCAA
a lot.
championships.
Well, see, and here's the thing. Like from a crowd standpoint, you can get a lot of people in there, right?
Yeah.
Because you got the two big sides. Yeah. So that's the appeal to them, because that's a money issue, right? This isn't about the fans. This is about the athletes. This is about the coaches.
Yeah.
And that's the issue for me. It's like it's just unsafe. Totally unsafe.
Yeah, I just don't. That's just not it. It's not it.
Nope.
Lamar Stradomus, what you got?
Well, I'll go in reverse order. I'll address the dual gender. Look, I was exhausted and I watched the meet from home. It was like watching the Olympics back in the day with like what was it called, the golden package, where you could like watch right? Like I was like, dude, I've been watching.
You're showing your age, brother. Be careful.
Well, you are showing. You are showing.
You know
your
what?
age
It's
right
okay.
now.
Look. That just tells you I'm seasoned. I was like, dude, I feel like we just watched 8 hours. Oh wait, no, we did just watch 8 hours of track.
Yeah.
That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I didn't coach nobody.
Yeah.
Like that's a package that, like if we're just gonna be honest, even from a streaming capacity, that is a package that is not palatable to anybody other than a true and utter locked-in fan. No casual observer, they're gonna click at that and be like, no shot.
No.
Like that's a package that can't be digested. The venue, I had a lot of things that I was going to say, and then I thought about it, and I have one mic dropping thing to say, and we can move on. Nobody in the meet qualified for the meet from that track, in the 2 or the 4.
Maybe in anything.
No, because somebody might have in the dash, but I'm just saying somebody
right.
Yeah.
60,
right?
That did happen.
But not one person, no male, no female, qualified for the meet in the 200 or the 400 on that track. That should tell you it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yep. And
we're done.
I want to throw something in there for the audience, because I spent 4 years at Alabama State. We were in that building all the time. The Crossplex is a fantastic venue for what it was built for. It has helped the city of Birmingham. It has helped the community. It has created jobs, and it is a fantastic venue for running the local southern states and the athletes and the junior high kids and the high school kids that have a venue. Beautiful for all of that. Yeah. It's even good for the smaller universities who get locked out of places like Clemson and et cetera, right? To have venues. SWAC championships are there every year. Great, fantastic, right? What Sir Lucius alluded to about the food, I am so disappointed to know that they tried to stick to that at the NCAA championships. People, the catering prices in that venue are astronomical and the catering is awful. So no, I'm not going to pay the fee. And if I did pay the fee, I'm going to be really, really upset with what I got for what I paid. There's no universe where you should be holding to that contract, if you will, at the NCAA championships. That's the last thing people should be worried about. Like, bro, just let us eat what we need to eat. Like, we're here trying to do business. We're here for 13 hours. Like, stop it.
Exactly. Like, literally, they're at the door. You can't bring, like we're talking about armed guards.
Yeah. Oh, no.
At
They
the door,
serious now.
you can't bring that in here.
Oh, no, they dead
So,
serious.
we had DoorDash deliver our food. We had to call the bus to come bring the bus to put the food on the bus because they would not let us bring it to the site.
Yeah.
That's right. You have to smuggle food in there like
Yes.
you are a drug dealer.
Right. Like
And
the
it's doable.
NCAA gives you Powerade bottles and
Mhm.
asks you to carry those because you
Yep.
can't bring Gatorade bottles in.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's right.
So now you want me to violate my school contract? Yeah, for you.
Oh, no. They're dead serious. And who the hell drinks Powerade anyway? Like,
You know
not
we
the
don't.
Gators. For
Not the
sure,
Gators.
not the Gators.
For sure, not the Gators. Right.
Okay, so now,
So now let's turn this to someplace else. Let's talk about the NCAA, okay? Because their shenanigans is part of this, right? The other shenanigan we have to stop is this random draw of lanes in the 2 and the 4.
hey, look,
Oh boy.
look.
Can I just
Go ahead.
I just don't understand. I want to put a fine point to that because I think a lot of people don't get it, right? Essentially what happens is this: coaches coach athletes, the top 16 athletes in the country in the 2 and the 4 all year. We put together a descending order list, and then when you come to the national meet, or before you come to the national meet, when the draw happens, you cross your fingers.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like, that makes no sense. Why have a descending order list if literally the best person can be in the worst lane? Like, that makes no sense.
And so, like, the argument that was given to me was, well, we just don't know if it's fair or think that it's fair that a guy can go someplace and run 2060 in December, early January and sit on the time. But it's okay for the 5K guys to do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my argument is this. Okay. So is it fair that the number 1 person in the country can get the worst lane and number 16 can get the best lane? Where's the fairness in that?
Wait. I've never even heard you articulate that somebody said that to you. That argument makes absolutely no sense.
And that's exactly what I told him. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay, look.
This is somebody on the committee that said this to me.
Nah, look. Okay, look. The seeding issue bothers me so much because it's anti-science. People, World Athletics / IAAF disbanded the 200 meters from the indoor world championship meet. Why? Because you always knew who was going to win the race based on the lane draws. Now, look, I'm not suggesting we disband the 200 meters. We love the 200 meters. Keep the 200 meters. But, bro, if you're number 16, congratulations. You're in lane 3. Get your ass whooped. It is what
13, 14, 15, and 16.
It is what it is.
Lane 3.
And here's the thing, especially on that track, go watch the replays on that track because it is so low, because the bank is minimal. As soon as the gun go off, it doesn't matter who you are, the gap that instantly takes place from lane 3 is insane.
Yeah.
And it's so blatantly obvious. You have to see those races. I want to listen. If I'm in the middle of the pack, if I'm number 10, and I earn lane 4, and I can go bust somebody's head in 5 and 6 and make the final, more power to me. But to Lucius's point earlier, what people do indoors, and because you have to, they find a way to find themselves on one of 5 tracks indoors. Arkansas, Texas Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, the New Mexico now, and Boston.
In Boston, yeah.
Now, The SEC meet so happened to be at Texas A&M this year. So a lot of qualifiers came from that meet. But prior to the SEC championships, all those people were on one of those 6 tracks.
Mhm.
You have to see those races. It is what it is. Like, oh my God. I can't. It's the dumbest thing we're doing in indoors right now. Just has to be.
I was talking to Lucius earlier today about this specific thing, right? There were 3 young ladies in the same heat that qualified on the same track, and the highest seated of that group was in lane 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, that literally makes no sense. So we all raced on the same surface. I ran faster than y'all, and we get to the national championship, and y'all get better lanes than me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's too many coaches like to say, you know, we've all heard coaches have, some of us may have said it, outdoors, the lanes don't matter. You're right. Outdoors, the lanes don't really matter. Indoors,
radius matters.
matter. Indoors,
Radius
So
matters.
actually the way this went down, Mr. Stadamus, is Alexis Holmes, who was the SEC champion, was in lane 5. Britton Wilson, who was the SEC runner-up, was in lane 4. Talitha Diggs, who was third at the SEC, but the third fastest person in the country, was in lane 3.
Mm.
There's also clearly something wrong with the algorithms, or whatever you call this crap, because 3 of my 4 quarter milers were in lane 3. And the only reason the 4th one wasn't in lane 3 was because he was in the heat with one of my other quarter milers. So clearly they're grabbing, this computer is grabbing schools and putting them in lanes, because Texas had 2 of their women in lane 3 in the 200, right? So at the end of the day, there's just nothing right about this. And the NCAA has to get off their high horse. Okay, this needs to stop. This whole indexing mess needs to stop. Okay, so the indexing stuff was done, so as Clyde said, to help the people who can't get on the tracks, right?
Yep.
But it's not helping them, because the people who can get on the tracks are now going to the flat tracks because they know how easy it is to qualify.
Well, yes, they messed up that when they changed
Exactly.
it.
Because now they take all the people go to JDL and they go to these flat tracks. Say, hey, let's all get together, go to these tracks, we'll run fast, right? So the people who can't get on the tracks still can't get on the tracks, and the people who can get on them go to these tracks because the indexing is wrong. You know, the altitude adjustments are wrong. It's almost to the point where you shouldn't even use the altitude adjustments, because this nonsense about the distance races, way too much.
And then last but not least, I mean, why can't we see battle versus why can't we see? Yeah.
Well, okay.
You can't see it because battle was in lane 3.
Because battle got lane 3 in the semi.
You know, I mean, we missed out. We missed out on the Kentucky Georgia rivalry in the 400 2 years ago at A&M. We missed out on that. We're not seeing the head-to-head battles, right?
Now, correct. I'd like some clarity on this, because this was slightly confusing. So, Sir Lucius.
Yes, sir.
After the prelims, if I am the number 1 seed overall going into the finals, and the Governor is the number 2 seed going into the finals, do we race or do we not?
Yes.
Okay. So then, yes, Anavia Battle drew lane 3, ran the best race possible from that.
Yes.
And was not the number 1 or the number 2 seed, even though it is clear as day that she's the second best 200-meter runner in the country.
Right.
And therefore, we did not get to watch her versus Steiner.
So then she ends up in the inferior heat.
Yes.
Basically runs a time trial.
Right, in lane 5, which she earned, but she wouldn't have been there had she not been in lane 3.
Exactly.
We would have gotten 1-2 had they been put in the right lanes. Period.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
So our Gripe Fest is over. Chu looks like she's still doing math.
No, I'm not. I actually finished it.
So are we moving to the predictions and the praising of the athletes now that we're all done whining?
Well, first of all, I'm not whining.
I'll say something.
Listen, I say whining, but listen,
I'm speaking truth.
We're
Because
right.
at the end of the day, like, you know, we have to do better. and
I
we
mean,
have to
no
do
other
better by
sport,
the
no other
athletes.
sport would do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the athletes
Like,
deserve.
like I said, if there are people that I've seen in social media that are praising the building. Oh my God, it's phenomenal. Okay, because you are just there spectating. You don't understand the backside of it, right? Okay, first of all, the majority of your warm up in the back happens on concrete.
Yeah.
It has to, right? Okay, so where that's a good situation, I don't know. And then those strips of Mondo they put down. When you walk into a building and there's strips of Mondo down and there's still bricks on the Mondo, it tells you that they just put it down.
Yeah.
Like literally, they didn't take the bricks off the Mondo until Friday before the meet started. I watched them take the bricks off on Friday.
And you know what? And you know what? To that point, I'm so glad you said that, because this goes back to a few years ago. That is exactly what I was screaming and hollering about when the track meet in Austin was phenomenal. I'm like, y'all didn't see the background. Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It's not phenomenal. It's terrible.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, I cannot deny that. Like as great as the meet was for us. I mean, I'll put it to you like this: there was one section at that meet where I had to move because they didn't empty the garbage, and it just was rank.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So go back to the NCAA doing better. Okay. So during the women's final session, there's a guy back there working out, going over hurdles at the far end. It's the women's section, okay? There's also a guy warming up with the girl from his team trying to help her get ready for the 60. But there's nobody from the NCAA back there. There's just some little dude back there sitting in a chair. He ain't paying nobody no mind. There are athletes, you know, I get a little crazy about this, who are running towards us.
Oh yeah, no, can't have that.
You know, they're doing drills towards us. I'm like, can somebody have some common sense? Like clearly there are arrows that say go that way. So, and if you have to do that kind of warm up, then take your behind over there in the back. That's disrespectful. That's a coaching issue for me. I mean, we're at the meet and we're doing our pre-meet. There's a guy standing in the middle of the straightaway with his headphones on, just walking around. Right? There's people in the back during the meet with headphones on, when clearly the rules say no headphones.
Yes.
So that's an NCAA issue. That's a coaching issue. You know, like people do better. And that's why people get hurt.
Yes.
Because nobody's paying attention. You know? It's just, I mean, for me, for the quality of athletes that are in that building, for the quality of coaches that are in that building, the NCAA does a horrible job of protecting us from the EDC. I mean, like their parents just walked up in there. I mean, like seriously, I can't make this up. You know, some of y'all saw the starter pullover I wore on Thursday, right? There's a guy that walked up in there on Saturday with one older than the one I had on. And he was not a coach. He just walked up in there. Hey, fellas, what's going on? I'm like, you don't belong back here. But nobody stopped him. It's crazy. And it's disrespectful. You think you're going to get access to the locker rooms or the warm-up area or anything concerning the basketball tournament?
Oh, no.
You know, the swimming meet, the gymnastics meet, nobody would go through that. So why do we have to?
That's right. That's right.
Well, and that goes to, and I think this is the one piece that we didn't see per se, and maybe Clyde and Lamar Thomas saw it, is the coverage, the streaming, the ESPN, whatever channel it was on.
So again, we had John Anderson on. He explained how these things happen. So, you know, we'll accept that from him because he ain't lying. From the streaming side, I will tell you this. I don't know the technology of streaming. Okay. We do this show every week. Sometimes Lamar looks good. Sometimes we can barely hear him. I don't know. But we have technical difficulties, right? All I know is I did not see the 60-meter final, the real one, after the recall, after the false start and the beeps. And I didn't see the 60-meter final. I didn't see champion Allison go down because All I saw was a black screen and we're having technical difficulties. Now, damn it. ESPN, the number one sports broadcasting mechanism in the world. That shouldn't happen. That can't happen. Since I can't watch the meet on TV live,
Right.
I have to stream.
Can't DVR it. You
I
can't rewind
DVR
it.
it. I need to not have, and since for the record, now the way it's set up, I have to have a cable package or a streaming package that I'm paying for to have access to it.
Yeah.
I don't need technical difficulties. I need to be able to see what's going on. And
so let's pause for a moment of silence for the idiocy that was the men's 16-meter final.
That was a show, boy. That was a show right there.
Right. So like, okay, so I'll be the first to admit, like, I didn't hear the beeps until later on. But okay, the bottom line is the two guys that heard the beeps were smart enough to slow down, right? And then the other guys finished the race, but clearly they didn't know what the beeps were. They just kept running. But if you're the official and there's been no instructions to the sprinters that says if you hear two beeps, stop. You've been shooting guns when people false start. Why not shoot the gun then?
Yeah.
So then when they call the people together, the expert, oh guys, that's our fault. My bad. Our bad. We're gonna give you 15 minutes and then let you run again.
So for the sake of the audience, y'all have to understand this. Me and Lamar are not in the building. Everyone else is in the building. So the live stream is working when the false start happens, right? And on the broadcast, you can hear the horns from the system clear as day, right? Clear as day. And so it's NCs. Lucius is like, there ain't no horns. I'm like, bro, there's horns.
But it wasn't horns, they were beeps.
Beeps, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
no,
I didn't hear beeps either.
No, and I'm not blaming
crazy,
you.
Right?
I'm not blaming you. It's just a really funny story. So Lucius is convinced that the beeps didn't happen. I'm like, bruh, I heard it, and I'm looking at the blocks with the mechanisms on there. He's like, it didn't happen. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you it's happened. You're gonna figure it out. So here's what I found ironic. The two athletes in the 60 who truly have international experience, bowling and the kid from Barbados who's running for Indiana, they recognized that sound. They stopped running. Everybody else kept going. You the official. Why you ain't just shoot the gun again? Right. Like,
and again,
right? There's like 5 guns.
But here's the most confusing part of the whole situation. There were multiple false starts this weekend. That was the only time you heard the beeps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing too. I'm not convinced the beeps came from the speakers, because there was another mechanism over there by the starter. I think that's where the beeps came from.
Oh, totally plausible.
Yeah.
Well, when you look at the races over in Europe and there's a false start, the entire stadium. The entire stadium hears this, right? Now, was there any thought given to, okay, we're actually in an indoor venue, right? How hard would that have been?
Yeah.
The PA, the speakers in there are fabulous. They work.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. So let's go back.
We have dance parties in the SWAC.
Let's go back to the men's 60 semifinal. You know, the gun goes off. They get to 25 meters. There's a recall gun.
Yeah.
There was.
Right. Then they go back and they start again, and there's a recall gun. Then they go back and they start again, and there's a false start. There's a recall gun.
Yeah.
So they were firing the heck out of the recall gun before.
Yes.
So 24 hours later, we just leave it in our holster.
Like, I ain't firing this gun.
Yeah.
That's what was wild to me. Because if you know anything at all about the starter's job, like the recall starter, like can't wait to get his gun off or her gun off,
yeah.
right? Because they don't have, because they go through weeks at a time where they never get to fire the gun because there's no false starts, right? So it's like, oh, this is my time to shine.
Which again, maybe they didn't know what the beeps meant, right?
No, that's okay. So when you have some downtime this week, sir, because you could get on ESPN, watch the broadcast, the actual thing. Just watch it. Not only was it chaos for the athletes, the officials were totally confused.
Oh no, I witnessed.
They was
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at each other.
That was visible.
Okay.
That
They
was
got,
visible.
they got schedules out. They
this-
had no clue what was going on.
Okay, so this is how bad it got. So, see, most of the coaches who have people in the final are out on the track. They're
literally
attacking
on
the bank, and they're
on the
talking to
incline.
the committee, and like they're in their face, right? So then somebody decides it's going to be a 15-minute delay. We're going to let you run again in 5 minutes because it's already been 10 minutes delay, right? So during that 5 minutes, now this rumor circulates. We're going to go to a rolling schedule. No, we're not.
No, sir.
I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So the coach says to me, Coach, I'm telling you, I'm like, okay. So now, I don't, if you watch the broadcast closely, if you see the final of the 60 about to start, you see me walk out behind.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You know, I was looking. There are a few coaches I'm looking for on the broadcast. I'm like, where's Mount?
Right.
Where's
Right.
Carol? What's
Yeah.
going on?
Exactly. So I walk up to the meet referee and I go, there will be no rolling schedule. He's like, well, who told you? I'm like, regardless of who told me that, there will be no rolling schedule here. It's the NCAA championship. You can't do that. I said, so y'all need to go decide what the delay is.
We don't.
Everybody gets pushed back, and you put it out there so everybody knows. But there will be no rolling schedule in the NCAA championships.
There are no
Like,
tornadoes in the area.
Exactly. 5 minutes later, we get this text message. Everything's pushed back 10 minutes. That's all you're doing.
Which isn't even hard to figure out, right?
Right, exactly. So see, we should have known the men's 60 was going to be a fiasco because I don't know if anybody else saw this, right? The guy from Indiana who ended up being second, he's doing I'm talking about he clearly wants to get a hard acceleration from the blocks before the race starts, right? He hits it, he is going. He gets it about 25 meters and there's a cart of hurdles rolling right his way. If the dude takes one more step and that look up, he's done. But luckily he looked up and saw it and he veered around. It was just disorganization. Disorganization. And at its highest level. And it's unbecoming for these championships. We have to do better.
Yeah.
We do.
So, I mean, like, look, if we go all the way back to like show number 2 or 3 is when we started the narrative about our sport not being professional and being run like a mom and pop store. And I said in that show, it was like the 3rd show, that's at every level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people thought that was hyperbole and it's just me saying loud things. Like, no, like professional meets, collegiate meets, high-end high school meets, the same shenanigans happen at every level. And it's like, it's indicative of how people view our sport. It's indicative of how people treat our sport.
Yep.
Because you would never, ever host an NCAA championship in any other sport in a knowingly inferior by ways of performance, right? I'm not dissing the people or the building, right? Although the building does not regulate itself properly. But that notwithstanding, you would just not knowingly host a national championship at a facility that is not as performance friendly.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
I mean, let's call a spade, okay? Who on this panel realized in Paris in 2003 that this false start rule meant that every single person could potentially false start and be out of the race?
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you know how long it took me to process that? Like, hold up. This is what you mean by the false start rule? So there is no descending order list? So if everybody reacts before the gun, the race is over? Like that was things like that. Like, I get it. We have to get the TV show. We got to keep it going. But really, like, think about these things. Like, you got to think these things through. You can't just say, all right, this is going to be a blanket for everybody, 0.1 seconds. That's it, right? So, I mean, when things like this pop up over the weekend, I mean, should we even be surprised? I mean, I first of all, I didn't even know that they were rolling with the sensors now. I didn't even know that, you know.
Well,
and
I'm glad
and
they have them because you need
yes,
that to ratify a record, right?
absolutely,
So, yeah,
yes,
Matt.
yes. But just like what happened when they first introduced the sensors, I mean, and even as a professional, we were invited to test them out. We were invited to get in the blocks and to actually see what happens when you hit the sensor and all of that stuff. So you're not taking these collegiate kids, putting them in a championship setting, and having stuff like this happen, and half the field doesn't know what's going on, right? And we can't hear the recall. We can't hear any of that. Those things have to be done. This is the NCAA championships. Like, come on.
Right. And if you're going to
Can I
have
ask-
them, you need to explain to the athletes that they're there.
Yes.
And see, and I'm like, I think the reaction time is the most overrated statistic. We've talked about that, right? But I also don't know who determines how fast one human can react to something.
And there it is.
You
Like,
cannot.
who made the determination? Who came up with that number?
You cannot.
That it's humanly impossible somebody react faster to this. Like, clearly there's somebody that can because they have.
Mhm.
Right now, we're gonna blame that on Sebco and let you move us to the next thing. All
Wait.
gonna be embarrassed by
But before we go to the next thing, I have to ask one question though, because I wasn't there. What was their drug testing
Yes, there was.
Yes.
for every event?
Yeah, every winner got drug tested.
Okay, awesome.
And then there was some randoms behind them, but every winner got drug tested. Yeah.
Look, awesome.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
All right.
All right, Big League, what you got for us, girl?
Unfortunately, our scores were not drug enhanced at all. And they are very, oh man. It
There
took
were
me
multiple
faster.
contests. First of all, let's be clear. Multiple contests here.
Okay, so here are the contests that we were competitive with. The men's podium, top 3. The women's top 3. Our fantasy teams that we picked, men's and women's, and then just who would pick the top 4 team finishers, and then what was going to be the biggest upset of the meet.
Okay.
The scoring system went quite quick because it was very quick to go 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So, Lamar Shadamas, you said it earlier. How many points were possible?
90.
Okay,
90 points in the podium picks available because we
in the
scored
podium picks.
because we score at 5-3-1 for
5-3-1.
correct. Okay.
Yes.
So,
So there are 9 points. So basically there was 45 per gender.
Correct.
yes.
Correct.
So,
Right.
in the men's runnings,
Jesus.
I brought up the tail. I'm going to go poopy to great.
So this is the
welcome.
men's 5, the men's 5 events, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
I came in the third. I came in the bottom with 3 points.
Oh, Lord.
We do
It
that.
doesn't, but it doesn't get much better. So don't chuckle too fast.
I was like, this can't be good.
So Clyde,
Yeah.
a whopping 5 points.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I'm on the podium, baby.
Governor, a whopping 8 points.
8 points.
And
Wait,
the
stop the
winner,
presses. I won.
and the winner is Lamar Stradamus with a total of 12 points.
Let's go. Oh, let's go. Double digits, baby.
Wow. That's not even
But
a
it-
third of the available. Terrible.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
it gets better. Hold on, it gets even better.
Hold on a second. Like I want to point out the fact that all of your point totals combined doesn't get you to 45.
That is facts. We were
But-
awful.
Oh,
Let's not digress. I apologize.
It's a rough life.
oh man.
Yeah.
And
All
hence why I said we should pick all the events.
No,
Oh my.
because it'd be even worse. So go ahead.
All right. So on the women's side,
Oh gosh.
I didn't bring up the rear because we had 2 goose eggs.
Oh. Oh my stars.
Clyde and the governor had goose
What?
eggs.
So,
Oh,
wait,
0
that means we both on the podium.
Hey. Hey.
Wait a
Goose
minute.
eggs.
You two got
You are
0?
not
Stay strong,
going to
Clyde.
clean
Stay
that
strong.
up and claim the podium when
Oh
you
my
scored 0
God.
points. You don't
You
Yes.
get a
literally did not pick one person in the
There wa-
right order.
And in
Oh
this
my
event,
goodness.
there will be no silver medal. There'll be no bronze medal. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
My
We're
God.
not doing that. No.
So
Mm.
I took second with 3 points.
Oh
Again.
my God. This is wild.
And again, the winner
Oh my God.
is Lamar Stradamus
Oh my
with 8
God.
points.
8 points.
8. We didn't
Listen,
even get a double digit out of that one.
listen. I'm gonna say this with,
Hold on a
with the
second.
utmost.
11 points from all of them.
Yes. Yeah, there's two
You can't.
zeros.
So you're trying to cover that up. That is. You guys are supposed to be tracked.
Oh my
I'm
God.
done.
Man.
I think we need to
boy.
suspend this competition the same way we suspended the space competition. It never happened again.
Oh my God.
No,
Oh
gotta
my God.
continue. It's too good not to.
Clyde,
All
oh,
right.
brother.
Wow.
So-
Okay, so
This
okay.
is bad.
So
I
the
just
next
want a
one I want to know.
competition
Okay, I want to
with no legs.
The men's for that we picked. Who won that battle?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
The
who
men's
won-
fantasy
who won
team?
the team podium battle?
The men's fantasy
Oh.
teams. Who won that battle? Go
Oh, no, I
in
got
reverse
last.
order again.
Reverse order again.
The men's
I-
fantasy teams.
Right.
All right. So with a tie of 31.25 points is Lamar Stradamus and Clyde.
For third place?
Wait a minute, wait. I don't understand. How does that total happen?
So
You add up the points of
each
your 4
person that you selected, I took
Oh,
their
this is the
point total.
fantasy. This is the fantasy.
Yeah, this is fantasy.
Fantasy, yeah.
Got it. This is men's fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Got you.
So
I
you
took-
guys therefore share the bronze medal.
Yes.
Yeah.
I took the silver with
Sweet.
35.75.
Oh my God. I got beat by Chew.
And then the governor won with 49.25.
Oh, he crushed y'all.
Yeah.
Remind us of
He
who
beat y'all
the
like y'all
governor
stole
had.
something.
Remind
Who
us.
did the governor have on the men's side?
He had Bowling, Ross, Nur, and Young.
Ner, baby.
Ner was the
I
Ner.
saw the name and I was
They
like,
busted it out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, I just want to say
So-
for the record, I had a horse get injured. So,
Yeah, you did. What about
So-
him was riding.
All right, to the women.
The women's fantasy teams.
okay.
Oh,
I brought up the rear. I brought up the rear with 36.5.
Well, we knew that was coming.
That was coming. Well, yes.
I mean, yes.
Yeah,
We knew that was coming.
we knew that.
And it was that one pick. Damn it.
Yes.
Or lack thereof. The governor came in third with 53.5
Ooh,
Good.
okay.
by a
Okay.
whopping 2 points, even with a goose egg. Lamar Stradamus had 55.5 points.
Wow.
Let's go.
Oh, right. Clyde won it. Okay.
Clyde won it with 69.5.
Wow.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. What was my total?
69.5.
Me and Sir Lucius got the same total in the building on the women's
Oh,
side.
my goodness.
Oh.
Actually, you beat me by a point and a half.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Who did
so
Clyde have? Who did Clyde have?
Yeah.
Clyde had Jasmine Moore,
Right.
Miss Wayman, Miss Steiner, and Miss Stark.
Oh man.
Arky.
He nailed it.
Arky.
Oh.
Yes.
So who won the combined?
So what happened was that he and I had 3 of the same people. I chose
Wait.
poorly in my 4th
Wait a
pick.
minute. So, Chew, when you combine the genders,
Oh, here we go. Here we
Oh.
go.
Oh wait, I gotta do math. here.
it ain't hard. My total's too high with the women.
Oh, wrong button.
He has a lot of the women's side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 69.5. Whoa.
But I don't understand why you're cheering. This is not. Listen, there is no like men and women's Olympic champion.
Yeah, but that was part of this contest when it was set up. There was men's, women's, and it combined.
Yes,
this is what we do on the U.S. on TV. This is the medal count. Got it.
That's right.
I got you.
Right.
There you go.
There you
go.
That's right.
Okay. So Clyde, you had
Italy won the medal
100.75.
What was that?
100.75.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm getting everybody's right now. Sorry.
Oh yeah. You don't really need to do that now.
I had 72.25. Oh man, it's a tough life out here.
Too. You should keep that to yourself.
That's a tough one.
Lamar Stradamus, you had 86.75.
Oh my God, he crushed y'all.
With a 0.
Even with the goose egg.
Even with the goose egg.
Crown him. Crown your boy.
Oh, the governor.
The governor gave him the crown.
2 points.
What?
2 points. 102.75.
Give him the crown.
What was the governor's total?
It was 49.25 and 53.5.
So what was his total?
102.75.
Right?
So what was Clyde's total?
100.75.
100.75. Okay.
2 points.
All right. I as I said when we started the picks, Governor, I concede. But I dominated the OGs.
Yes, you did.
Dominated.
You did dominate those.
So we brought in more talent, and now I got
women's
to
side.
catch up. Me and the governor gonna have to battle this out. I
here
dominated
we
the
go.
OGs.
Here we go.
All right. So according to the team picks,
The podium picks, yeah.
Oh
the
boy.
podium picks. So all of us got the women's pick right, women's winning team right.
Mm-hmm.
Hold
So
on,
there's
let me show you my shock face.
Congratulations once again. The governor was the only one to pick the second place team as Texas, sorry. Clyde was the only one to pick the third place team, Kentucky. Not one of us got close to the fourth place team.
So basically, what
I
you're
don't think
saying
they were
is
even in the
that you and
conversation.
Lamar both got goose eggs.
Wait,
No.
on the women's side?
On the one side, we picked the first place team.
Oh
Yeah,
my
but
bad.
everybody did that, and that was an easy pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you still had to pick
Right.
it.
Well, she said
Yeah,
nobody was
right.
close. I was like, I got the 4 women's teams right, just the wrong order except the first one. I knew who was battling.
Well, they're too far removed from what you said. So anyways, moving on.
So
On
that's
to the
kind
men's
of like
side.
that. Isn't that where we insert? Yeah, she's got a nice personality too.
Anyway,
Butterface.
anyway. I just want to say this about the men's side, right? I picked Texas. I think I'm the only one that picked Texas to be in the top 4 on the men's side, and y'all laughed at me when I picked them.
No, I didn't. Nobody laughed at you.
I don't remember
Well, you didn't
that.
say anything because you were hosting.
Right.
I didn't. I wasn't laughing. So.
I didn't laugh. I
remember
don't know
that.
why I didn't pick them because I knew better than that.
Them 2 dudes that are on this screen with me besides you, Sir Lucius, both laughed. Like,
You might have got a side eye. I don't remember.
Yeah.
See, and here's the
Yeah.
worst part, right? I've seen them a number of times this indoor season. I knew better than to do that, and I still didn't do it. So that's shame on me.
You know,
That is-
but you know, like we're gonna cry shame on you because you didn't pick Jasmine Moore when you had the chance. Like,
Yeah,
Lamar did everything but call her name, and you still didn't pick her. So.
I couldn't do it.
There was a
That's a
photo of
fact.
her in.
I
the
couldn't
group chat.
pull it out of my head.
Oh
All right,
man.
wait.
Oh, man.
So to the men.
To the men's side, there's nothing to say that not one of us picked the right order.
right?
At
Nobody
all.
passed. Like, there's no shot.
Okay, so let's talk about the men's meet. I mean, like,
Yeah.
like there was a time during the men's meet, like you had no idea. You know, there was Tennessee,
absolutely.
Georgia, there was A&T, there was obviously Texas, NAU's in it. Princeton's having a great meet, right?
Yep.
I mean,
It's
day
just-
one,
it's
they
all
were
over the
winning.
place.
So wait a minute.
They won, they led.
we've been agreeing with each other way too much. So I'm gonna go ahead, since we're doing the men's meet, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my thoughts out there because I know I'm gonna get crushed by at least one or two of y'all. So here's my thoughts on the men. First of all, strangest men's competition I've seen maybe ever. Like,
Absolutely.
just strange all across.
Absolutely.
Someone, it may have been one of y'all, pointed out how many non-power fives finished in the top 5.
Well, 3 were in the top 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Princeton beat Oregon.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment to think about that, right?
They beat a lot of people.
A lot of people. No, but when you're talking about names, right? Like if I come into the meeting, I'm like, listen, Oregon gonna lose to Princeton. Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? So, so shout outs to the small schools. The best of the small schools, obviously, North Carolina A&T finishes second. Here's Lucius made a reference to something earlier, and I totally agree with him. Anybody screaming that Javante Harding should have been out there, like, gone somewhere, you're crazy. He's never out there. That's not what he does. However, A&T did change their order of the 4x4 from what they've been doing for 2 years straight. Daniel Stokes has been the pop-off, and it's been working. And when you realize, when you step back and do the math of the meet, the slow heat, the second fastest heat on paper, produced A&M as the champions at 3:04, Texas getting second. If once Florida was injured, Champion Allison's out. Iowa clearly injured. Everybody in the world's like, hey, A&T is about to win this 4x4. And if A&T wins the 4x4, Texas has to come down 2 points, and A&T is your national champions. So for me, in that moment, changing of the order, not putting somebody that ain't never been out there, changing of the order potentially fumbled the bag.
Okay, so now let me help you because I was in the building.
There you go.
Okay, so this is where the split gender meet comes into play.
Oh, absolutely.
Remember, Stokes was in the 200 final.
Yeah.
Okay, I was standing next to him before they went out on the track, and trust me, he would have been no better on leadoff than that dude was. He was done.
Hey.
Okay, so in Dwayne's defense, this dude that he let off typically is about a second and a half faster than that, right?
Yeah,
So
we don't know what.
dude,
I mean, that dude.
that he just underperformed.
Yes.
Stokes, as you could tell by the way he ran the legs that he ran, he had no legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even Ross wasn't Ross, right? The schedule bit them in the butt.
Right.
Okay?
And
so to his defense, because I've been in those situations. Sometimes you just got to go, look, this dude's fresher. The national championship's on the line. He's going to step up and do his job.
Yeah.
Because if he keeps them close, and now Stokes and them can go hunting from a closer, then it's better. But so I'm not questioning the man's decision. He knows his athletes. But I'm telling you, I was standing next to Stokes. He would have been worse on leadoff than he was on third.
No, and so I wanted to throw that out there because I know there's a lot of language about that out there. Here's the thing, man. Listen. Whether you were rooting for A&T or whether you were rooting against A&T, understand, every individual event those kids were in, they elevated themselves in that championship. Daniel Stokes, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Stokes was the number 16 seed in the 200.
No, he wasn't the 16th seed.
Well, he was in the bottom 4.
He was like 13th or something like that.
And he drew lane 3. And he made the final.
Yeah.
Daniel
in the
Stokes,
worst 200 meters in the history of indoor track and field. But I'm gonna let that
go. But he made the final. And that kid in the final elevated himself. Right?
Did. And he was in lane 3 in the final and he beat people. Yep.
The hurdlers came through.
Yep.
Ross damn near, the track cheated Ross out of a world record. So the A&T crew elevated themselves, and then for them to end up with no points in the 4x4 is mind blowing, right? No one really? So you got to kind of feel for him in the moment. It was crazy.
So basically, and Sir Lucius can speak to this, with this current setup, if you are trying to win the national championships, is it is it me, or do you have to have points coming from other places?
Oh, absolutely. Look,
You have
I will
to
speak
have,
to it like this, right?
yeah.
We went to Clemson earlier this year to qualify our 4x4 on the women's side to make sure we were in the top 8, right? We didn't run as fast as I wanted to. We still ended up in the top 8. I never had any intention of running the 4x4.
There you go.
I only wanted it there.
That says it all right there.
In case you needed it.
Bottom line is that in case I needed it, right? Because the schedule is sick.
Yeah.
Like, and my girls were ready, Anna, Sterling, the whole crew, they were ready. Talitha was ready, but like, no, we don't have to do it. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
So I haven't gone through. So did you get points from every area? Or was there an area that you didn't get points? Did you get points?
We didn't have any throwers there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every place other than the throws.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you can bring a multifaceted team to an indoor championship, obviously you got more bullets to fire in more places.
Yes.
You're gonna have a better listen.
Yeah.
Somebody go ahead and get mad at me about this. I don't really remember because I only looked it up twice. Did you guys tie the scoring record or did you break it?
I don't know. I don't even know what the record was or is or anything like that.
You scored 69, right?
68.
68.
I believe
the record's in the 70 something. I believe it's 70 something. So.
Indoor, I thought you tied it, but you left the 4x4 in the back. So my thing is this. National champion, national record holder, and sweep in the triple jump, right? 778. Talitha Diggs. And we can go on. Anna Hall didn't even high jump open, right? Best indoor women's team ever, hands down for me. And bravo, sir. Like,
thank you.
That's where I'm at with it. The only one close is the Oregon team from a few years ago. You know what I mean?
I would just, you guys keep better track of that stuff than I do, and I'm just extremely proud of our women. With like the things you just talked about. I mean, they were on their game. You think about it. Jasmine had to fight tooth and nail to win the long jump.
Yes, that was a great competition.
Claire Bryant was 11th going into her final, to her third jump. She clawed her way back into the top 7.
Yep.
And Talitha, lane 3 to make the final. She had to run in lane 3 to make the final, and then out of lane 4, she had to run out of lane 4 to win it. So it wasn't. They didn't come in there and nobody gave them anything. They went out and they won it. And kudos to Texas. They showed up. They did a great job. And you think about it, Arkansas was 4th with 40 points, and they didn't have a good meet for Arkansas.
Yeah.
They still got the 40 points.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, it was a phenomenal championship, and it was a lot. Obviously, people will say, "Oh, well, it was fun because you won." No, it was fun because it was a fun. A lot of great competition, a lot of great things, and just wish it was in a better venue. That's all.
All right. So the all-time record is 84.
There you go.
80 indoors, 84.
Yep.
What team was that?
2017 Oregon.
Yes.
I thought that was the outdoor. Well, then, nope. I'll retract that statement. Second best.
Yeah. Georgia was second with 51.
Okay.
So you think about it, Texas scored 56 points?
56 points, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a great meet.
Absolutely.
And Kentucky was 3rd with 44.
Yeah, that was one of my predictions right there. Shout out to Lonnie Green.
Yes, 44.
One of the few things I got right. Shout out to Lonnie Green.
It's a rough life. The one that I did not mention, the biggest upset, was one. Oh wait, no, I messed up.
I don't think any of our upset predictions actually happened.
They didn't. I forgot that it was the men's 4x4 that A&M won, not the women's 4x4. So I messed that up.
Yeah.
So womp womp.
Yeah, no. But the upsets we were reaching for, we were reaching.
Yes, very much so. Because that's what they were supposed to be, right? But so that is the
So-
recap.
Well, can I throw one additional question to the panel, to everybody?
Sure can.
Best performance you saw.
Wait, I got it, because this is what we've been, my group's been talking about, is the 1000 performance by Aiden Owens in the HEP.
Exactly.
Really?
It's on the
stealing
list.
it from me.
Literally, I was there, so I get credit. I get to say it
You know what?
first.
Take it
That
from
is
him, too.
fair. That is
I
fair.
was, because when he took off,
Yes.
whoever I was standing with, I can't remember who it was probably DA. We were just like, what?
What
He's
kind of
about to do
suicide
this.
mission is this?
Yeah. And then it wasn't until like maybe 800, 850 into the race that his chin started to raise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just hold on.
Man.
And at that point-
he went from 4th to 1st with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Unbelievable.
it was like it was a 4-second PB for him. He went out in 150.
Unbelievable.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I just need all of you to understand, as someone who has run those races, 159 through the 800 would put just about every decathlete in the hospital.
Right. Right.
You damn sure ain't staying on it for another 200 meters and running 231. Like, no,
Oh,
and
man.
no.
Yeah.
So
That
Chu is giving it to Aiden Owens. Lamar, is that you as well?
Yes.
We're just speaking about the men right now?
Sure, we'll go men and women.
Oh, dang it.
Well, on the men's side, I don't know how anybody. I mean, like, I thought what Aiden Owens did was phenomenal,
Mhm.
but Randolph Ross. I mean, 44.61 in that building. I mean, that, you know how close that is to the world record,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
yeah,
And
that
Imagine,
was
looked-
impressive.
imagine him doing that on Arkansas's track. What would
he
he
looked good.
Yeah,
How
Or
stupid would that have been?
yeah.
exactly.
I
Because
mean,
he had made reference to that he was trying to break it at Clemson, and then him and
Yes.
Crazy Man got whatever
Yes.
they did. I don't know what that
hello.
was. Like,
Would you like to pass me,
yeah.
sir?
exactly, yeah, whatever
Go
that
right
was.
ahead.
We're not
And so-
going down that path.
Exactly, not
We
tonight.
listen, damn it,
Yeah.
sir. No, you know what? Go ahead.
No, no.
Continue praising Ross, because
Yes.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Ross, in my opinion, was the best thing I saw on the men's side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Governor.
We knew when that gun went off what Mr. Ross was doing. You could tell
Mhm.
that he was on another plane. I can't say that I was that tuned in to what Aiden was trying to do in the decathlon, in the heptathlon. It was only afterwards that I heard what he did. I mean, that's just insane
Mhm.
stuff. But I think in the building at that moment, when he got to the 200 meter mark, I think everybody was just like, oh goodness, this is really about to happen. I mean, and to do that again on that track, oh man. Sir Lucius, did you see that there's a dip like at the apex of the track?
Yeah, see, and it's like I couldn't figure out why Clyde was so adamant about lane 3, right? So the first day, every time the 200, 400, I'm watching, I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
Immediately there's a gap.
Yes.
And then when I'm watching Talitha, one is like everybody else has got a bank, she's running flat.
Yeah.
Like lane 3 is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
In that
And
building,
again,
for
like like there's no like you when you're at the other places, you come off that second bank and you get the throw down.
Yes. Right.
No throw down.
No.
Just run it.
Yeah.
You know? And so like again, Ross was just man.
So
That was crazy.
That was
So the way I
pretty
phrased
special.
the question was the best thing you saw. I'm at home.
Okay, here we go.
I'm at home. So
Right.
I didn't see the Aiden Owens
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard about it.
Yes, right.
I'm going to go back and try to find it.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that. So props to him. It's spectacular. I told you, I didn't see Champion Allison go down in the final. So I'm sitting there screaming at the TV in this black screen because I haven't seen anything since the 60-meter first run. I ain't see the final. I'm just looking at the black screen and the problems. And then all of a sudden, boom, my picture's on, and Randolph Ross is 100 meters into his 400 final. So I saw the last 300. For that kid to run that time in that building, honestly, it might be the best thing I've ever seen indoors from a male athlete. So props to Mr. Randolph Ross. I'm glad I saw the last 300. But I don't know what she was talking about when she says, when you heard the gun go, I ain't see that. I ain't see that.
But I will tell you this. Weren't you in the building in 2005?
Yeah.
And you watched Wallace Scriven run 2016 from lane 3?
I was gonna say,
That's
right?
the best thing you've ever seen.
Right?
Yeah, that 6'3" Joker. Yeah. So I mean, I get it. Ross's was phenomenal, but I have never seen anything crazy like that.
But Wallace's wasn't on that track.
Yeah.
But still, it was still lane 3.
Yes.
Understood. But lane 3
Yeah,
at Arkansas is like lane 3 at Arkansas is like lane 5 on that track.
The lane 3 at Arkansas,
Yeah.
like lane 6 on that track. Yeah, so.
All right, so to the women, and because Lucius.
Okay. I have to give an honorable. I haven't given honorable mention here on the men's side.
All right.
Trey Cunningham.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trey Cunningham.
Oh.
Cunningham.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, why he's setting the blocks, I don't know.
No.
That's the only reason he don't have the record. That's the only
I'm glad you said that.
Because from hurdle 1 to finish line, he was textbook.
Yes.
Yes, he was. Yes, he
and
was.
let's not disregard the fact that his entire family, like they were all like, so you're talking about either you're setting up to do something crazy or something is going to go wrong really badly.
See,
and
so this is what I'm going to tell you about Trey Cunningham. Trey is not going to succumb to that pressure.
Yeah.
That's not who he is.
Okay.
You know? And I'm going to put this out there for all the hurdle experts who think they know the hurdles. If Trey Cunningham can keep that composure for the next 5 hurdles, he's a big time factor at the next level.
Wow.
Now, for those of us who know the hurdles,
Absolutely.
the next 5 hurdles presents a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some technical and speed issues that come with that. But if he can keep his composure and hold that rhythm, that dude's an issue for everybody at the next level.
Absolutely. Look.
Yeah.
I'm glad you threw that out as honorable mention because we shouldn't have missed that. For various reasons, and you can make the arguments because people have been making them. Trey Cunningham to this moment in his career, has been dressed in a jacket of can't live up to the big moment. I don't know how accurate that is, but in that moment, like you're at home, you grew up in that building, you've set records in that building, and on paper, you didn't have anybody that should challenge you. And then the gun goes off and you might be dead last out the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
For him to focus and run perfect.
Yep.
Because it was perfect. Other than the start, it was perfect. Like, hey man, that took a lot. That was a lot of pressure on that kid. And it was fun to watch him. It was fun to watch him come through like that.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely. Last 5, if he runs perfect like that for 10, hey, it's an issue. So to the women, best thing we saw.
Well,
I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say Miss Moore doing what she did on her first jump. Now, there were some crazy things that we saw. I mean, from the hurdles to 200, but it's a different, and Sir Lucius has alluded to it, it's different when it's expected. It's expected of you. It's the highest level. You are expected to go contribute to your team. You're expected to do some, and she goes out and goes 14:57. Boom. I mean, it laid the foundation, in my opinion.
Like, it was
that day.
definitely the trigger.
There we go.
Because, we're in the back and Grace is getting down, they're getting ready for the 60 when she's getting down for her first 3-point acceleration. And we hear this noise, the crowd just goes crazy. And because the shot put's going on, and that's the closest thing to the warm-up area, somebody says, oh, that's somebody making the shot put, right? So Grace does her acceleration, and I look up at the board, and I see Jasmine Moore, 14:57 collegiate record. I'm like, and I realized that was Jasmine's mom and my wife that were screaming, because I know those screams before, right? So then Grace walks back, she looks up there and she goes, did she break her own collegiate record? I'm like, yep. She goes, it's on. Yep. And that was the trigger. It was.
There you go.
It was. Yeah.
So I mean, that's just pure jumps bias for me. But that was my most impressive thing that I saw.
For me, it's Miss Stark in the hurdles. She runs a 60, she comes off the track, and I'm looking for a crack in the armor, right? Like, she's upset, she thinks she can do her job. And I go and I say, look, you did a great job. You just kind of got caught in the girl from Oregon's rhythm. You lost your acceleration. She goes, Coach, I'm fine. Right? She's like, I'm good. And then for me, when the false was, everybody's talking about it's the rematch, right? Armstrong wins the Tyson meet, and then Grace wins conference only because Armstrong cramped at the first hurdle. That was the talk, right? So when Armstrong falls starts, the first thing I do is I look at Grace to see if she shook it off. And she's standing there like she's waiting for me to tell her it's time to go do another acceleration, And when the gun went off, she was almost as flawless as Trey. She just had a better start, right? That's what it was. And so that was the most, because I didn't see Jasmine for jump. That's why I can't say, because I didn't physically see it. But for me, it was Grace. It was Grace.
Chewy?
I didn't see any of the women's competition.
Oh, well, damn. Well, you can pick
I
one
know.
I feel then.
I mean, it's Jasmine, for sure. It's Jasmine. Just like seeing the replay, hearing about it and whatnot, and how it played out, for sure. And I don't know how I have the images in my head, so I must have watched some type of playback or whatever. Her self-talk on the runway was awesome to see. Yeah. Because you could see what she was saying to herself. And that was amazing to see. I really liked that.
She does it all. She does it all the time. Yep.
Yeah. So
and honestly, if you watch them, several of our girls do that.
Okay.
Lamar.
Well, look, I'm gonna get called a homer and all those other things, and I don't care. Like, listen, Sir Lucius is my best friend, and
absolutely,
yes, you absolutely are my best friend. Anyway, I have been through a lot with this dude, and I have taken it personal for people to not say, but to say out of their mouth like it's a foregone conclusion and true, Mouse can't coach women. I've heard an elite level high school coach tell an elite level girl, well, why would you go to Florida? You're never going to win a championship. So for me, it's real simple. The best thing I saw this weekend on the women's side was my guy holding a trophy over his head. Because, it's a ridiculous narrative to think that you can win nine men's championships and not win one on the women's side, but that means you can't coach the women. Like, 18 and 12.6 don't play out the same way. So that narrative is over.
Before I give mine, I'm gonna let Lucius respond to that, because that was amazing.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for saying that, and you're absolutely right. We are we're best friends, and everybody knows that. And it was personal, in a lot of ways. I'm not sure you remember me calling you last year after the Olympic trials when there were people. I mean, people were talking about this, and I'm standing right there, right? And I'm like, I'm done. Like, I'm going to show these people who I am, and I'm going to show them that I can coach women because I'm tired of the narrative. And honestly, I don't care what they think of me. I'm happy for our women. I'm happy for what they did. But, you know, I'm like any other coach out there. I'm a better coach and I have a better talent. I have people that believe in me. And I have incredible talent on this team, and they all believe in who we are and what we do. And that's why we're the national champions. So those of you, I'm sure, still think I can't coach women, keep telling me. I'm good.
So to that moment, first of all, you could easily, given the way the women's meet go down, listen, I got some honorable mentions, right? Obviously, Abby was amazing, and she's been amazing all year. My sleeper is third place in the women's weight throw, Cam Rogers. We all understand how amazing the Ole Miss girls are, and they came in and they wrecked shop, and props to them going back and forth. We know that. Understand this, y'all. Cam Rogers plays with the weight throw. She plays with it. She dabbles in it when she's bored. For her to elevate the way she did in that competition, y'all got an issue in the hammer. I think she's gonna get a medal outdoors this year. But that's just me. But listen, pick your favorite Gator performance, right? That's the women's best thing I saw, right? And wait a minute, when we did upsets, was I stupid enough to do it in my texting world and not put it in for the women? Did I not call Talitha Diggs to win the 400? Because I did it elsewhere. Did I not do it?
You did.
I did. Okay, so we got one right, and that was mine. There we go.
Yes.
So
My
I need
apologies.
an extra point. I need an extra point, and me and Kareem tie for the championship. So,
Oh my God.
Oh my
Credit.
goodness.
So look,
take your L like a man.
I'm not sure I have one now. I need a recount. I need a recount. So,
Oh my gosh.
So no, in all seriousness, I thought Talitha Diggs was phenomenal. And she pulled off the upset that a lot of people didn't think she did, and the way she did it, all of that was great. But obviously for me, it, like we've already said, it was how do we distinguish between what Jasmine Moore did and what Grace Stark did in hers? And I think I have a rational answer. Y'all know I like to be a rational guy. When Katura Orji set these records, a lot of people were like, well, no one's going to touch that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then here comes Jasmine Moore. But at the national championships, Jasmine Moore outperformed herself.
Mm-hmm.
It was her record. So she already had the wow factor of taking Katura Orji off the board.
Yeah.
Grace Stark, 778. No one thought Brianna Rollins was touchable except Sir Lucius, Grace Stark, and those of us who are lucky enough to have a constant communication with him. Because let me tell y'all something. That man told me that time was coming a long time ago. And when I saw the practice
long time ago.
When I saw the practice videos, I was like, shit, she can actually do that. But for her to pull it off in the building, in the final,
In the moment.
Yeah. when the only person that anybody thought would be the race is now out of the race, right? Because you got to be pushed to something like that, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You just have to focus and you have to execute. Because no one pushed Brianna Rollins to run that damn time when she did it. Okay,
I sure didn't.
So listen, I'm just gonna. It was Grace Stark for me, and Grant Holloway threw something out on Twitter that I just think is interesting, and people should take a moment to pause on right now. 75% of the hurdle records in the NCAA belong to the University of Florida. Now, I don't know if that's a flex or if that just makes Sir Lucius an asshole, but it is what it is.
Does it make him petty? Does it make him petty though?
Oh no. It's petty. And it's definitely petty.
Man.
And so in true LLC form and sense, Lucius, about 20 minutes ago, you threw it out there. We started off being petty with the NCAA. What was the worst performance you saw this week?
Oh God.
Ooh, wee.
I'm
Really
not
quick
doing
though.
that.
Wait, really quick. Wait, really quick on.
We are not doing that. No.
Look,
We're not.
really quick before we
No.
jump
That-
away
that's
from it.
that's a post show. We're not doing that.
All right. I
The
tried.
most
Hey, people,
surprising
I
thing I saw.
tried.
The most surprising thing I saw this
man.
weekend was the young lady winning the 60.
Hey, you know what?
Absolutely.
You know what? Yeah, I'm so glad that we didn't skip that. Thank you, sir.
And I want to apologize because I met the young man who coaches her. I talked to him for several minutes. I cannot remember his name because I was just like, I watched
You were
him
a little busy.
prepare
You're
her.
a little busy.
Yeah. I watched him prepare her. And the great thing about it was he was really excited the day before, as was she. And then about 5 minutes afterwards, he said to her, "We got to be better tomorrow." And they were.
Yeah.
Like, so like this narrative that Alfred, I'm not going to use that word, whatever she supposedly did. No, this young lady won that championship because she outperformed everybody else on the day, in the moment.
So
And I told that dude, you outcoached us all,
so
because he did.
100%. Shout out to Miss Jefferson, and shout out to Coach Carl Gooden,
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
sprint coach, Coastal Carolina. Y'all don't
Very,
understand.
very laid back, unassuming. You would like, unless you saw him with her, you would have no idea.
Yeah, listen, that might have been the best individual coaching job of the entire week. Like,
Yes.
y'all don't understand. The
But she
60
came in there at 7:22 and ran 7:09.
the 60 is a bloodbath,
Yeah.
and there is no room for errors.
None.
The defending national champion and record holder was
And
in
record
the
holder.
event.
Yep.
And then the record gets broke in the prelims.
Yep.
And this girl from Coastal Carolina, I don't even know where she's from originally.
See, it's like, so talking about the women's 60, right? So my two young ladies are in the first heat. Grace runs 7:10 and gets third. Let's start there, right?
Right.
And then
Right.
Samara's 7:18 and fourth, and she's kind of nervous. I'm like, girl, 7:18 always makes the final. And then the second heat goes, I'm like, oh my God, you might have made the final. Like, she makes the final by like 2,000ths of a second.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
You know?
so I
And
got
just
it.
like the
I
women
got
were
it.
phenomenal.
I got it right here, and the governor and people that I'm really close to in the world will appreciate this. Because listen, if she was unknown before this weekend, y'all better know who this girl is. Because please believe that's all going to translate outdoors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Jefferson is from Georgetown, South Carolina, and she
Ooh.
is a jumper, sprinter, jumper, however you want to call it. So look, listen. From Cravers Bay High School. I don't know where Cravers Bay High School is. Georgetown, South Carolina, I imagine. Right?
Hey, kudos. Yep.
Young lady, phenomenal job. And when you can
She-
walk in a
they-
building
they-
like that and upset
they came to the
everybody,
Tom Jones meet last year, and they
Man.
were warming up, and I was like, "Who is that?"
Mm.
Right? And Sandy Fowler told me who she was, and I'm like, "Man, she's going to be good." Little did we know, she's really good.
and she's
an
not a
NBA champion.
senior. She's not a
No,
senior.
she's not. She's a sophomore, I think. Yeah,
It
sophomore.
says
junior.
junior here, but indoor, who knows
Yeah.
with all the COVID
Exactly,
stuff.
with COVID stuff. Yeah.
I think if anybody wants to know who she is, check out the post-race interview.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
they asked her, okay, so where did this come from? And she was like, I saw this last year and I said,
Mhm.
I
Right.
want to be there.
I'm not
Yep.
going to be in the stands
I'm,
again.
I'm not
Yep.
going to be in the stands.
So, and if you
Right.
watch the race, she's accelerating better than anybody in the race at 60.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
a problem outdoors. So for
Yeah.
all of us, because I have girls in the race too, who were witness to that, we better be in the lab figuring out 50 to 80 because she's going to get away if we don't.
So will she be this year's Cambria Sturgis? Is
She
that
could
what
be.
we're
Very easily could be.
there you go.
Very
Very
easily,
easily
yeah.
could be. Only
So
this
what-
time, Only this time, like, this time everybody knows in advance because she's
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cody.
Yeah.
What I didn't like about that situation was the dialogue after, and I don't know if this happened in all circles or just circles that I happen to hear standing, was, oh, she'll be in the portal by the end of the year. And I was like, she doesn't need to be in the portal.
You know what?
And if she's smart, she won't be.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what, too?
He got her there.
Listen, let's not act like those things don't happen, because they do happen.
Yeah.
And I think I know I can say, us sitting here, we all would be rooting against something like that. Because again,
absolutely.
these people, these coaches at this place at Coastal Carolina took this unknown girl from Georgetown, South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and helped her get to the podium, the top of it.
The top of it.
So it would be tragic if something like that happens. It happens.
And let's put this narrative out there because it's the truth. About 75% of the people who jump in the portal who are running well don't run well when they go somewhere else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They don't. Yeah. The grass is always green on the other side, right?
Right. Now that was incredible.
Yeah. I don't even remember where we're going from there.
Oh, we gotta go. We're going to March Madness.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, first off, I didn't
Jet
even
lag
know
picks
today,
for March Madness.
but I didn't even know that today was Pi Day. Because how did we get into the middle of March?
I know.
Exactly.
I know.
What?
See, the sad thing about this is, for me, is that when this is shown to the rest of the world, it will be 2 weeks away from the start of Florida Relays. It makes me just tired thinking about it.
So look,
Yeah. I'm so not ready for the Florida Relays.
And we're hosting our first home meet this weekend. Like,
Same
on both of you.
So let me just say this to my LLC family. Clearly, when we were prepped and in our own lane, we can fumble the bag on picks. So don't worry about your March Madness picks, because it can't do no worse.
Definitely.
Let's get it.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
And Shu, you in on this? You in this?
I am currently Googling who is in the tournament.
Because see, I want to say this for the record, that Clyde wants to put you in this to make sure he's not last. That's all.
God damn it.
Hey, we are all picking blind here for the most part.
And so, because I'm going to go first, because I have no clue. I've already been following basketball the way I usually do. But I'm just going to go out on a limb. My Final Four, in the one semifinal, I got Gonzaga versus Arizona. And in the other semifinal, I got Kentucky versus Wisconsin. I have Gonzaga and Wisconsin playing for the national title, and Gonzaga winning the whole thing.
wow.
There it is.
Okay.
And I do believe I'm the defending champion in this situation. So,
You are.
He is.
You are.
He is.
You absolutely are.
I'm sorry, what was your second picks? Gonzaga, Wisconsin, and then who else?
So I got Gonzaga versus Arizona and
Arizona.
Kentucky versus Wisconsin. I have Gonzaga beating Arizona, Wisconsin beating Kentucky, then Gonzaga beating Wisconsin for the national title.
Gonzaga beating who? I'm sorry.
Wisconsin.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Ooh.
Don't even know.
All right. I sent you a link, Chu.
Okay. Well, I've got the bracket up.
Okay.
That's the issue.
All right. So I guess I could go next. Okay. Final Four. I have Gonzaga coming out of the West. I have Arizona coming out of the South. Ooh, that's interesting.
You're not prepared, sir.
No, I'm trying to get this right because I want to make sure. I have UCLA coming out of the East. Let that scramble your brain right there. And then out of the Midwest. Now, see, I want to say this because I was very upset about this last year. Last year, a lot of us went all in on the Big Ten, and they fumbled the bag left and right. I'm not going to make that mistake again, even though I really like Wisconsin. I really do. But I'm going to go Auburn coming out of the Midwest.
Wow. I think we should pray for you right now.
Hey, they are the number 2 seed.
Yeah, and they've lost 3 of the last 4 games.
Is somebody hurt that I don't know about?
Hey, too late. You picked them.
You right.
That's hilarious.
I'm not giving you inside trader information now. You picked them.
Who do you have winning it all?
I have Arizona winning it all.
Who are they beating in the championship game?
I'm trying to look at how that would line up.
So Arizona would play Gonzaga. Wisconsin would play UCLA, correct? Too?
Wisconsin, Auburn, UCLA is what his picks are.
Oh, yeah,
Auburn.
okay.
Auburn.
Well,
So Auburn and you versus UCLA, Gonzaga versus Arizona.
that's the matchups?
Yep.
Damn. Okay, well,
That's what you
yeah.
pick.
No, I still have Arizona winning it. So Arizona winning it over UCLA.
Got it. Pac-12 showdown.
Is that what
All
some
right.
Homer West Coast picking right there?
West Coast. We going Dre and Snoop on it. West Coast.
The left coast is the best coast, huh?
I'm rooting for
All right.
Gonzaga. I just think Arizona's going to beat them.
Okay.
All right. I'll be quick. As Clyde mentioned, we were all on the Big Ten last year. Well, I haven't left. I got the Zags, the Boilermakers, the Arizona Wildcats, and the Iowa Hawkeyes in my Final 4.
Wow.
Oh, you are delusional.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I also have the Iowa Hawkeyes beating the Arizona Wildcats, but unfortunately losing to the Zags in the national championship.
See, Gonzaga
that
will
can't
play
happen.
Arizona, sir. Look at the brackets.
Yeah.
Gonzaga plays Arizona.
Am I reading it wrong?
Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Y'all are
Gonzaga
reading
plays
it
Arizona.
wrong.
Okay, so
The left
Lucius
side-
read it wrong then.
No, the West plays.
Maybe I read it wrong. I'm sorry.
If the Midwest plays the South, is that
No.
because that's how I'm reading.
The bracket I'm looking at.
Gonzaga does not play Arizona until the final.
No.
Okay, so
Gonzaga
here we
So,
go.
play
all right. So I got the matchups wrong. Okay, I apologize.
Okay,
It's
so
West
yeah.
versus
I
East
was
and
tripping.
South versus Midwest.
Okay, so Chu, you have to change mine. I have Arizona facing Gonzaga in the championship game and beating Gonzaga.
Okay, so Arizona plays Wisconsin and Gonzaga plays Kentucky by my bracket.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so then I've got
Because I have Purdue beating Kentucky in the Elite Eight.
all right. So Gonzaga plays Kentucky and Arizona plays Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
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 Okay. So then I'm going to change my final game to Gonzaga versus Arizona, but Gonzaga still loses because I think Arizona will beat Wisconsin.
There we go. See,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked at the
that's
back.
why I was scrolling through. I was like, is he right? I was like, shit.
Nah, I told you my brain is not there.
We got you, baby. We good.
So do you have my 4, Chew?
Hold on. I'm fixing. So, Clyde, you have Gonzaga playing UCLA then?
No, because I was reading it following Lucius. So I have Gonzaga. My championship is Gonzaga versus Arizona.
You see how you played that
who
on
do you
me?
have them playing coming into it? That's where I'm.
So Gonzaga would beat UCLA in the Final 4, and Arizona would, in my bracket, beat
Auburn. Got it. I see.
Unless I can have my Wisconsin pick back because Lucius said somebody hurt.
No. You chose Auburn. You're not going back on that, sir.
I
Nice
got
try.
So
I didn't say anybody was hurt. They just haven't been playing well.
I have Gonzaga beating Kentucky, and I have Arizona beating Auburn.
the governor's on the train with me.
And then who's winning the final?
And I have Gonzaga finally slaying the dragon and winning.
So I'm sorry, what was your second? You had Auburn playing who?
Arizona.
Arizona.
He's basically the same as Clyde.
Yeah.
With one yeah, he has Kentucky
Yeah.
from the East, and I had UCLA.
Yeah. And he
Yeah,
has the same as me, except for I've got Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much. Yeah.
Okay. And then Lamar, who did you say? Sorry.
I have Gonzaga playing Purdue,
Mm-hmm.
Arizona playing Iowa.
Okay. And who's the winners of those?
Gonzaga and Iowa,
Wow.
With the Zags winning?
with the Zags winning the national championship.
Okay. I got nothing. So I'm going to say, of your guys' picks, I'm going with. It's
go.
what's in front of me.
She was gonna roll with one of us. I like it. Okay.
She's going chalk on this one, baby.
Damn. I like. Creams. I'm sorry, the Governors.
Okay, so you're matching the governor.
I'm matching the Governor. I can roll with that one.
So what you're hoping is that he wins, so then you can tie for the title, right?
I'll go with that one.
Okay.
So I have a question.
Governor, you do understand that you have now been chewed.
Yes, you've been chewed.
100% understand
been
what is
chewed.
going on right here. I do.
I have a question.
So you better
Two
get
of you
prayed
picked
up, brother.
Wisconsin, right? To make the Final Four?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, did y'all watch the Big Ten this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, do you know who the Big Ten champs were?
No, who are they?
Iowa.
Okay.
And Wisconsin's really good. Don't get me wrong. And I think they have the best player in the league too. That dude is ridiculous.
That's why I went with him.
Yes, sir.
But the best athlete and the one that's going to have the biggest impact from the Big Ten is probably the point guard at Purdue.
Well,
No,
sir,
the person with the best impact in the league is the young lady in the damn league. So like she's the best player in the Big Ten. So we'll leave it.
right.
Yeah.
But Lamar, to your point, I'm not gonna pretend that I watched any Big Ten basketball this year because I really didn't. But the experts did, and the experts seem to think, that Wisconsin's better than Iowa because they're the number 3 seed and Iowa's the number 5 seed. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Wow.
Is it better to be playing well now or 2 months ago?
Typically.
Okay.
Because your Auburn pick was definitely playing 2 months ago. They were playing really well.
Exactly.
Hey, so
2 months ago, Auburn might have been the national championship.
And please, no one out there, as our guy Lamont would say, at me on this one. Auburn got beat by Florida, bro. I'm done.
they did. I saw that. I actually saw that one.
Right.
So just know that.
And the Gators played really well that night.
Listen, just know that when Lamar's pick Iowa goes down this week to the Richmond Spiders, we're gonna start sending the text messages. Because
Hey,
12-5
it may happen.
is always a problem. Somebody
It is.
12-5 gonna lose.
It
Yeah,
is.
you're right about that.
It is.
And I put Wisconsin in that Syracuse category where it doesn't matter how good they're playing. You just don't want to meet up with Wisconsin in the tournament. You just don't.
Yeah.
They're always tough.
Because it's methodical.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
It's what the guys when you playing with those kind of guys on the court. Y'all play basketball, please. We up there, please, let's run up and down and be athletic. They're like, nope, we're not doing
Nope.
that.
Yeah,
We're gonna bore
they're
you
the
and put you
guys
to sleep
that
and then pound you.
they're the guys you're playing outdoors in the summer. They inbound the ball, you turn around and the dude is standing there in your pocket. You're like, bro, what are we doing?
Like,
Ain't no
really?
coaches out here. Ain't no hardwood to slap. What are we doing?
They are well coached.
Yes, they are very well coached.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
I
So
stuck
we
the
survived.
Boilermakers in there because big men and guards win championships in college, and they have a gigantic, really athletic big man, and they have one of the best guards in the country. So I took a YOLO. I'm kind of on the Matt Painter, like, if not now, when?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm serious. That dude's he's had Final Four talent like 6 times.
Unbelievable.
So we somehow survived this show. We are at the end.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
We are at the end.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
It's been wonderful, folks. It's been wonderful.
When are you heading out, Lamar Ramos?
Tomorrow, sir.
Okay.
Travel
that
safety,
is.
sir.
Believe me, I plan to. Thank you very much for all the well wishes. I will hopefully bring good tidings from Belgrade.
Mm-hmm.
You're going where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so hold on. I'm gonna say let's make that the blanket heartbeat props tonight.
Yeah.
Let's give a shout out to Lamar and his athlete right now headed to Serbia, Lyndon Victor, as they go to compete at World Indoor Championships.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, I know those are happening too. So
Yeah.
but with everything that's going on outside of track and field in that area, we definitely wish you safe travels, good health. To Lyndon, great marks, throw far, jump high, jump far, run fast, right? So I think it's going to be great. I think and of course I'm the lowest on the totem pole to make this comment, but I think it's going to be a very interesting indoor meet because of, like we've alluded to before, the whole championship series over the next 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what transpires. It'll be interesting to see what doesn't transpire because of management.
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna have another fun recap next week.
I know, right?
On the track and politically, I imagine.
Yeah.
So safe travel, sir. Get back in one piece.
Yes.
Sir. That is the plan, folks. That is the plan.
Right. Well, I'm saying this out loud because if you haven't picked up what I'm putting down, we are skipping rapid fire because I don't have it in me. I don't have nothing.
It would not be rapid.
We don't need nothing rapid about that tonight.
It'll be turtle races to the end. So,
Chu, what episode are we on?
We are on season 2, 49, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, I just closed that window.
Well, I hope it's not. Because I woke up in the middle of the night going, I hope we haven't had the 100th episode and we didn't do anything about it.
Oh.
Because I feel like we got to be really close.
Well, we are really close because I know we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary, but we've got some stuff missing in between. But we are really close because I know, and
we only got one thing missing in between, but I'm gonna let that go.
One.
See, there's 2, but there's only one that's lost. But yeah.
So we had what? We had 51 episodes the first year, right?
Yeah.
So Chu, if you tell me if this is episode 49, this is episode 100.
Yikes.
All right. So
we'll address that next week.
We're gonna assume that this is episode 100, and if we are right, we will have a post celebration. Like when you forget somebody's birthday that you're supposed to know.
We will do episode 101, baby.
We'll do that next week when everybody has their brains and wits, and we can talk about it.
Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Oh man.
It is. So, well, at least you know what's coming up next week. See See, this is the post-credit trailer, the one you had to stay to the very end to get. There you go.
Yes,
There
yes,
you
yes.
go.
All right.
Oh.
Well, everyone, get some rest. To have a great week. Lamar, we'll see you when you see you. But other than that, everyone, till next time.
Safe.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot knife the butter. Truth pin 'em hard, knock 'em off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics, LLC, there's no others. Track and field's place and we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wally, Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these four corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass and failed and sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics, LLC, the task force.